Most mothers correct their child the way their own mother corrected them, which is exactly why it doesn't work. You don't want to yell. You don't want to be the mom who says, "Because I said so." You promised yourself you'd do it differently, and then your toddler throws the spoon again. And before you can catch yourself, the voice comes out, the sharp one, the one that doesn't sound like you, the one you recognize from your own childhood kitchen. Here's what nobody told you. Correcting a child isn't about stopping a behavior, it's about teaching a brain. And the brain you're teaching, that small, wild, developing brain, only absorbs one lesson at a time. The question isn't whether you correct her, it's how. Because when you get this right, your child doesn't stop the behavior once. She builds the wiring that means you'll rarely need to correct it again. These are the 3 most powerful ways to correct a child, and the neuroscience behind why they work when everything else fails. 1. Connect before you correct. The most common mistake mothers make is trying to fix behavior while the child is still in meltdown mode. It won't work. It can't work. When a child is screaming, crying, or melting into the floor of the grocery store, the part of her brain that listens to reason has already shut down. What's running the show is the amygdala, the part of the brain that fires an emergency alarm when it senses danger. And in that moment, your explanation, your "we don't do that," your count to 3, it's noise. She can't hear you. Not because she won't, because she biologically cannot. Dr. Dan Siegel, one of the most cited child psychiatrists in the world, calls this connect before correct. Before you teach her anything, you have to bring her nervous system back online. You get down to her eye level, you soften your voice. You say, "I'm here. I see you. This is hard." You let her feel you before you ask her to hear you. Only then do you correct. This isn't softness dressed up as strategy. This is strategy. Research on Siegel's whole brain approach shows that children corrected this way develop measurably stronger self-regulation than children corrected through shouting or isolation. Because you're not ending the tantrum, you're teaching her brain what it feels like to come back from the edge. That's a skill she'll use at 3 and at 33. 2. Let the consequence match the act, not your anger. There is a difference between a consequence and a punishment, and most of us were never taught it. A punishment is something you do to her. A consequence is something the moment does to her. If she throws food, the meal is over. If she refuses her coat, she feels cold. If she scribbles on the wall, she holds the cloth with you and helps wipe it clean. These are called logical consequences, and the research on them is quietly extraordinary. When a child learns through a consequence that flows directly from her behavior, the hippocampus and prefrontal cortex, the parts of the brain that handle memory and decision-making, stay switched on. Her brain is drawing a map of cause and effect. She's learning. But when you punish her, a random timeout, a toy removed she wasn't even playing with, a privilege taken away a day later, the amygdala fires instead. The brain registers fear, not learning. And fear is a terrible teacher. It teaches her to hide the behavior. It does not teach her to change it. One clean test, the one your own mother was probably never given. The consequence should fit the act so plainly that no explanation is needed. If you have to justify it, it's probably a punishment wearing a costume. 3. Name the feeling, then hand her the replacement. Here is the part almost every parent skips. When you correct a child, you cannot only tell her what not to do, you have to hand her something to do instead. A 2-year-old who hits doesn't hit because she's bad. She hits because her prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that controls impulses and puts feelings into words, is still under construction. That part of the brain, by the way, does not finish developing until somewhere around age 25. She is 2 decades away from the wiring that lets you stop yourself in the car before you swear at another driver. So you do it for her. out loud, every time. You were so frustrated. Your brother took your toy. You wanted to hit him, but we don't hit. When you feel that angry, you come find me. You stomp your feet. You say the word, stop. You just did 3 things at once. You named the emotion, which research shows begins to calm the amygdala within seconds. You named the limit, and you handed her the exact script she'll use the next time her brother lunges for her dinosaur. Studies of mothers who consistently name emotions out loud with their toddlers find measurably stronger emotional regulation in those same children by age 5. The words you're speaking today are the circuitry she'll use to stop herself tomorrow. That's not correction, that's construction. And here's the part that almost nobody says out loud. The way you correct your child is the inner voice she will inherit. The tone you use when she fails is the tone she will use on herself when she fails as an adult, in a job interview, in a marriage, alone in a room at 35. When you shout, she learns to shout at herself. When you shame, she learns to shame herself. When you connect, when you teach, when you hand her the words, she inherits that too. Correction isn't a moment, it's a voice you're installing quietly every single day for the rest of her life. Choose carefully what you leave inside her.